Passover is now over, and Jews around the world, especially in Israel, have returned to eating bread and other bread-like food items. But it is the Moroccan Jewish community that does something very, very special to mark this transition from Passover to after Passover, and from going from not eating leavened food items to leavened food items with a special celebration and ritual called Mimuna. Let's explore exactly what this is. Shalom, my friends. This is Akiva Gers with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Mimuna is a special celebration, a special party, if you want to call it that Moroccan Jews and other Jews of Sephardi or Arab descent hold the night after Passover is over, as a way to celebrate the end of Passover and mark the return to eating food items that we are not allowed to, that we are prohibited from eating during the Passover holiday. The Moroccan Jews hold something called Mimuna, and it is a big, usually an open house celebration with family and neighbors, community members, where they make all kinds of yummy, delicious, dessert-like items made out of flour, and made in such a way that these are things that you can't eat during Passover because of the prohibition of eating leavened food items. They make a party out of it, a celebration of it. They get dressed up in traditional Moroccan clothing. They put on traditional Moroccan music. They dance, they celebrate, and they eat a lot of amazing, delicious food. And they spend the time during the celebration making these food items, because just a few hours before, it was prohibited from making these food items because, again, they went against the laws of Passover. So it's a traditional way of celebrating, of marking the end of Passover, and doing it in a way that's fun and very, very festive. But there are deeper meanings to this Mimuna as well. There's even different ideas of what the word Mimuna means. Some people say it's based off of the Hebrew word emunah, which means faith. And it's this idea is now that we're coming to springtime, which is a time of rebirth and redemption, that we're strengthening our faith in the redemption, world peace, global peace that the Jewish people have been believing in and talking about for so many thousands of years. Some people say it comes from an Arabic word that means prosperity. And now that we're coming out of Passover, which was a time that the produce of the land of Israel was judged, and what kind of produce we would have for the year was determined, we're praying for prosperity and blessing our people, including ourselves, with a year of prosperity and with wealth and with sustenance. There's also different ways of carrying out the celebration, and different communities do it in different ways. But this has become more and more of a widespread tradition over the centuries from the Sephardic community, those who originally descended from Spain. And after Jews were kicked out from Spain in 1492, they spread out to different countries around the Mediterranean rim. That's why they're called Sephardi or Sephardic Jews. In Hebrew, Spain is called Sfarad, so that's the linguistic connection. And in Israel, where you have an ingathering of the exiles of every single Jewish community around the world, many different kinds of communities, and there are many different kinds of Jews, even if they're not Moroccan, even if they're not Sephardic, take part in these Mimuna celebrations. Oftentimes you'll see high-profile Israelis, including Israeli politicians, are going to visit the home of somebody who is holding one of these Mimuna celebrations. It's a really big deal here in Israel, and it's one of the ways that really shows us how Israel has become a melting pot of world Jewry, of Jews from around the world. Right? We know that Jews came from Morocco in the years after 1948, specifically in the early 1950s, when unfortunately it became dangerous, literally on some level overnight, in some places, to be Jewish in many Arab countries because of their disagreement with the creation of a Jewish state in the land of Israel. And literally, hundreds of thousands of Jews left Arab lands in the moments, in some cases, and in other cases, in the years after 1948, after the creation of the State of Israel, as unfortunately their lives literally were in danger. And before 1948, there were over 250,000 Jews who lived in Morocco, and there was a thriving Jewish life there. Many Jews are very, very wealthy with beautiful homes. Um, and very strong businesses. And in many cases, Jews from Morocco had to literally pack their bags within a few hours and leave because their lives were in danger. Many times they were tipped off by non-Jewish Moroccan business partners who wanted them to be safe, and they were told, "You need to get out of here by tomorrow because something very bad is going to happen if you're still here." This is the sad ending of the Jewish story in Morocco. There are still a few thousand Jews living there, but nothing like it used to be. And for many centuries, there was a thriving Jewish life and world in Morocco. And unfortunately, that came to an end as a result of blatant anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiments. Many of those Jews from Morocco did come to Israel and brought their customs with them, their rituals, their clothing, their music, and of course, Mimuna. And they really blessed Israeli society with this custom, with this tradition. And for many Israelis, the only way to mark and the best way to mark the end of Passover is by going to Mimuna, whether or not they are Moroccan themselves. Wishing everyone a great rest of the week. All the best and be well.